What's up, everybody, and welcome to the J and K Show. I'm your man, J Rob, and I got my brother right next to me, K. What's good, brother?
Yo. What's good, homie?
I'm good, man. I'm good. A lot of stuff going on in the news this week.
Yeah, the news cycle is crazy.
It is crazy because there's some crazy people out there. In the news.
Yeah, a lot
of stuff going on. A lot of stuff going on. But before we start, because we got a lot of interesting stories, ladies and gentlemen, I want to give some RIPs to some great, iconic people within our industry. First, it was really sad news, Kay, that I heard this week that James Earl Jones passed away. He's the iconic actor. Obviously, so many people have looked up to him. So many great movies, plays. He's an EGOT. When just so many things. And when you heard about his passing, I was just like, man, so many people just looked up to him. I mean, he was the voice of CNN, where he said, "This is CNN," right? You know, and it's just so sad that you see people that have this kind of legacy just go. We all know that people have to pass away, but I mean, what do you think his impact was on Hollywood?
Impact was huge, man.
Yeah.
He was one of those pioneers,
Yeah.
right, for black actors.
Yeah.
As you said, many folks looked up to him. His voice, iconic voice.
Yeah.
Probably more, I think folks are probably more familiar hearing him than seeing him, if that even makes sense, with considering that incredible body of work that he had. But between, as you said, CNN, also being the voice of Darth Vader.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? So, but you know, it's funny with James Earl Jones. When I was a kid, he was in this movie that my mother absolutely loved. It was called Claudine.
Okay, yeah, I remember.
And Diane Carroll. And so James Earl Jones was the love interest to Diane Carroll in that movie.
Right.
And I swear, I think she saw it in the theaters, and every time it came on television after that, right? We would always watch that. So as a little kid, that was my first memory of James Earl Jones.
Wow.
Yeah, it was my first memory there. Even before the Darth Vader, before CNN, that's how I knew him, because, you know, sitting at my mother's knee and seeing him in that, movie, Claudine, all those years. And I think he was also known for being the play version of
Fences. Oh, you did that as well too.
He did. Right. He did Fences. But years before that, he played Jack Johnson, the boxer.
Oh, okay.
The famous black boxer.
Right.
Which I think from a casting standpoint was a bit of a stretch.
Right.
You know, James Earl Jones was fair skin complexion, with light eyes. Jack Johnson was not that, right? He was dark as coal, and you know what I mean. But he played the hell out of that part, though, and then eventually became a movie, and he did a great job with that as well.
True trailblazer,
man,
for Hollywood.
Absolutely,
and a lot of the young actors today looked up to him, and he paved the way. And you don't get more better an actor than him, and he's taught so many people. So it's a huge loss in Hollywood that
King of Zamunda, man.
Oh yeah, that's right, exactly.
right.
Exactly. Yeah. You're gonna really miss him. So definitely R.I.P. to James. So we also had another person who passed away, and Frankie Beverly, right? Frankie Beverly passed away. A great singer. It's so funny because every time I think about him, just because so many songs he's done, Frankie Beverly and Maze, obviously he worked with that group. And every time I remember being in a nightclub back in the days of the Bentleys, his song "Before I Let Go" was the end of the night song. Was like, you don't got to go home, but you got to get the hell up on out of here. Crazy. And they play "Before I Let Go."
Yo, it's crazy. It's funny you said that, because not only was that song played, but it was at the time of the night it was played. You knew last call was coming, right? If you didn't connect with old girl yet, you better get that number now, because in a minute you're gonna have to leave the spot. No, that was crazy. I don't know if there's anyone like Frankie Beverly that is so well known for a piece of work, right? Where people probably couldn't even point him out in the crowd.
Yeah, right. Absolutely.
Right. You know what I mean? Like
Absolutely.
that song, I mean, think about that song. You talk about a song, I think that Before I Let Go came out in 81. So it's 43 years.
Right.
43 years that song's been around. And at some point, millions of people have danced to that song.
Yeah.
We know it when it comes on. He hits the high note.
Yeah.
But tons of people probably had no idea what this man looked like,
Nope.
or who he was, or anything. But
Right.
we all danced to his music. So yeah, another person who will certainly be missed.
And you know that he was performing up till just recently. I think June was his last performance. He was 77 years old, and he was still performing up until till June.
Right.
And I remember I saw him many times in concert. And he, you know, he had so much energy, loved the voice. He was dancing, and then we heard that he was going to retire soon. Obviously, because we heard about, you know, he had some health conditions, but we didn't know that he was going to actually end up passing away. Obviously, we know it all has to happen at some point. But it still is so sad, even when you hear these things might be coming. It's just still never said. And what a performer he was, and a singer, and such a great attribute to this musical industry that is definitely going to be missed, right?
Well said.
You know, and then obviously there's another person who passed away in the hip hop scene.
Yeah, speaking of music, Fat Man Scoop. This was tough because his eventual death was caught on camera.
Yeah.
Right. And listen, if there's any solace in it, it was him doing what he loved to do and what he provided so much joy for many other people.
Yeah.
He's another one where I think far more people knew his voice and the music that he contributed to, more so than knowing who he was. But I don't know if you went to a club and didn't hear him as the ultimate hype man. Think about it. When you start thinking about hype men,
right?
You know, he's got to be on top of that list. He's got to be way up there.
Absolutely.
Just musically speaking,
right?
Flav, Fife, you know, Fat Man Scoop, probably on record as good as, if not better than, anyone who's ever done it specifically for that role.
Right.
And you know, he was the go-to person for a lot of it. So yeah, I've seen him live, do his thing live, if you will. And definitely missed. He was part of the culture, man, so he's going to be missed.
And it's so sad. Live on stage, he was just performing that night, and then all of a sudden, I'm not sure, was it a heart attack or what the cause was, but I mean, just passed out right there on stage, rushed him to the hospital, and didn't make it. It's so sad, right? You're here today, going tomorrow. You just never know when your last moment is going to be. But like you said, for him to do what he loves, and for him doing that before he passed away, it's got to make him feel.
Yeah, I think there was some reports that came out afterwards that, you know, his health was in question. You know, he was a large man,
right?
And so maybe there were some complications as a result of that. So
yeah. Very sad, very sad. Well, listen, R.I.P. to all of these great performers that passed away. You will all be truly be missed, and obviously our condolences and prayers go out to all of their families at this time.
Indeed.
All right.